Sometimes the people who claim to protect the neighborhood forget what respect means. And when they crossed my property line, I decided to teach them what boundaries really are. My name's Ryan Cole, and this is the story of how my HOA broke into my backyard and how I made sure it never happened again. The setup. I moved into Maple Crest Estates 3 years ago. Quiet streets, clean lawns, polite smiles. At first, I liked it. Until I realized those smiles hid something else: control. The HOA here treated every inch of grass like military property. Too tall, fine. Too green, fine. Too different, double fine. Still, I played along. I mowed, trimmed, painted, did everything right. Until one morning, I caught someone walking through my backyard. The violation. It was 7:30 a.m. I was in my kitchen making coffee when I saw movement through the blinds. A man in a blue polo shirt, clipboard in hand, walking across my yard, taking pictures. No knock, no call, no warning. I stepped outside. "Hey, what are you doing?" He didn't even look embarrassed. "Routine inspection, sir. HOA business." "On my property. We received a complaint about your fence height. I'm just documenting." He pointed at my fence like it was some sort of crime scene. "You can't just come in here," I said. Section 8.2 of the HOA bylaws gives us access for inspection. Then he left, no apology. That night, I read those bylaws line by line. He was wrong. They could inspect common areas, not private yards. They had crossed a legal boundary, literally. The second incident. A week later, I came home from work to find my gate unlocked. Inside my yard, 2 more HOA members taking photos of my shed. This time, I didn't stay calm. "Get out," I shouted. "This is private property." One of them, Diane, the HOA president, said coldly, "Mr. Cole, your shed violates community guidelines. We're documenting for fines." Without permission, without notice. "We have authority under the HOA agreement you signed." "No," I said, "you don't, and you just trespassed." They left again. And that night, I filed a police report. The investigation. The next morning, an officer knocked on my door. He listened, took notes, and said, "They can't enter your yard without notice or consent. You did the right thing." He went to the HOA office and issued a formal warning for trespassing. That should have been the end of it. But the next week, I got a letter. HOA notice of fine, $1,200, unauthorized confrontation with HOA officials. They fined me for stopping them. That's when I decided I was done being polite. The plan. I hired a lawyer. We drafted a letter citing property law, trespass statutes, and the Homeowners Privacy Act. But I didn't stop there. If they liked inspections, I'd give them something to look at. I installed 8-foot privacy fences with automatic locking gates. Motion sensor cameras at every corner. Signs on the gates that read, "Private property, trespassers will be prosecuted." And just to be safe, I added a smart gate system that recorded every time it opened. The setup. A few days later, I got an email from Diane. "Your new fences are not in compliance with HOA height regulations. We'll be inspecting your property this week." Perfect. I adjusted the camera angles, synced them to my phone, and waited. The court-in-action moment. Thursday afternoon. My phone buzzed, motion alert. On the live feed. 2 HOA officials climbing over my fence. One held a tape measure. The other had that same clipboard. They didn't even realize the cameras were recording in full HD with audio. "Get a few shots from the corner," one said. "We'll fine him again." I called the police. When the officers arrived, the HOA members were still in my yard. They tried to explain, but the officers already knew the story. Both were charged with criminal trespassing. The fallout. Within a week, the HOA office was flooded with complaints, not against me, but against them. Neighbors were furious. No one liked the idea that the HOA could just walk into their property anytime they wanted. 2 board members resigned. Diane tried to save face, saying, "It was a misunderstanding." But it was too late. My lawyer sent the footage to the county and filed a civil claim for harassment and property invasion. They settled out of court. The HOA agreed to 1. Remove all fines from my record. 2. Pay for my legal costs. 3. Issue a written apology. 4. Update their bylaws to require homeowner consent for any inspection. The ending. Today, my yard is mine again. My gates stay locked. And every time I walk outside, I see that little sign on my fence. Private property, entry by invitation only. Neighbors still stop by sometimes. They smile and say, "You really locked them out for good, huh?" I smile back. Yep, and the keys staying with me. Sometimes, standing up for your rights isn't about yelling or fighting. It's about drawing a line and making sure no one crosses it again. Fade out, soft background music. Camera pans over the locked gate and quiet street.